It's been 20 years since our next guest completely transformed the way our children eat at school.
Back in 2005, Jamie Oliver shone a light on what was really being served up at lunchtime in his groundbreaking documentary series, Jamie's School Dinners.
But despite huge changes, 2 decades on, Jamie says work still needs to be done, and he joins us now to tell us more. 20 years.
20 years, Britain. Where did that go?
I have
Flown by.
no idea. But it has really changed for the better.
We've got the pictures to prove it.
But it has really changed for the better, hasn't it?
It's changed for the better, for sure. I think general standards have gone up across the board. Better and good services is definitely way more common. 24,000 schools, the biggest food system in the country, bigger than any franchise.
Yeah.
It's a massive responsibility. And I've carried on doing it ever since. And, you know, what we have to try and keep doing is making sure they all get better. So there's still, in my opinion, it's not scientific, about 40% of schools are struggling to meet standards. I think probably 60% are meeting standards, probably 20% are over-delivering. And obviously, when I did the documentary, it was kind of a sad tale about what we feed our kids 190 days of the year, from the age of 4 to 16. There were standards, you know, governed by law, which were set for dog food, which is classic for Crufts going on, but nothing for our children's food.
Isn't that crazy, though, the fact that that was the case?
It was very British to regard dogs over our kids.
Yeah.
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 And so we created the first nutritional standards.
Yeah.
And obviously the banter around turkey twizzlers came from when we created minimum standards for a meat product. So I got them raised to 65% meat in, say, a sausage or a patty, and anything that didn't qualify for that, and there are all kind of tricks of mechanically reclaimed meats and all kinds of fillers and additives and E-numbers. If they didn't qualify to the standards, they couldn't sell to schools anymore. So I think a lot of the public would never imagine, for anyone that works out there, like there were government contracts 15, 25 years to look after a borough or a county. Massive government contracts for commercial businesses. Can you imagine getting when have you had a 25-year contract? It's like, it doesn't
extraordinary,
exist. So, yeah, there was a bit of uncovering to do, but ultimately it was about how do we feed our kids? 190 days of the year, breakfast and lunch is pretty much half a child's nutrition for their whole childhood. So, of course, when the state are responsible for that, we have this amazing opportunity to fill our kids up with the good stuff and create a school which is learning, a place where kids get to explore and try new things.
I think one of the things that shocked me, though, and it's still, when we look back at it, what you were trying to do was help parents, help schools, and most importantly, help the kids. You were only trying to... It was coming from 100%. A really positive place. But the pushback you got at the time... I mean, you mentioned the turkey twizzlers thing. The amount of vitriol that you faced because you were taking... You were taking this or trying to take this off the menu seems extraordinary.
Yeah, I mean, like, normally in life, when you improve something by law and you give them more for their money, you get thanked for it. But no, I got quite a lot of grief about that. But I think now those kids are parents of kids. So I had grief for, like, 10 years. Like, you took away my Twizzlers. But now they've got kids, it's sort of like, oh, yeah, like, it's probably a good idea to not feed them rubbish every day and maybe get some more good stuff into them. But I think more to the point is generally humans or the public's capacity for change isn't great. We don't like change. No. And I guess what I was trying to prove is that we had to change because the pain of not changing was going to be worse. So we're still fighting for child health and we're still struggling with child health. And diet-related disease is still one of the biggest killers in this country. The NHS is still under a lot of... It's all linked.
Yeah. Obesity rates are up. We were talking about that.
And we've never cooked less than now, and we've never eaten less veg than now. So it's... we're not in a great place, and I just think that school has this opportunity, if it's supported correctly. There's amazing cooks around the country, by the way. And the School Food Awards was actually... a different strategy, because instead of telling a story about what was going wrong, I wanted the awards to really amplify and give love and credit to schools, teachers, cooks.
So let's talk about this.
Yeah,
it's the
third
Good
year, right?
School Food Awards that you've been doing for 3 years.
It's been amazing. So what we're trying to do is share with the country what good looks like, so that parents that are not happy, and there's parents watching now going, our service is not good enough. Then we want to show you what good looks like because it's yours to have. The standards are everyone's standards for 24,000 schools. So when we shine a light on schools that are smashing it, and you see like how it is when you have a supportive head teacher, when you've got like a cook and a team that are delivering against all the odds, even with equipment breaking down. Like, so I just want to find those people, and that's where I need your audience's help.
Yes.
Because today we're opening the floodgates.
For nominations.
If you have a school food educator, if you've got a cook, a head teacher, a rising star that's doing amazing things, in providing amazing food for your kids, please help me celebrate them, pat them on the back, surprise them, give them love. They get prizes. We make little films. And like last year's winners is amazing because the schools got busier. So now they're turning people away because everyone wants to go to the school. Like the staffing issues have gone in the school because everyone knows it's a school of excellence. So this little bit of love is really helping the schools, helping the cooks, and of course, helping the kids.
It's great to just celebrate people who really care and who are doing a great job as well.
I spent all that time doing sad stories, about, which is important to tell the truth and what's going on, but it's much nicer to celebrate excellence.
It's lovely. I was saying to Jamie, I went in the other day into my little boy's school and I met all the dinner ladies and I met Lou, who was in charge.
So you got to have lunch with all the kids?
And I sat down and had like...
Lovely idea.
And it was a brilliant idea because it's just acknowledging, wow, you're doing a great job here.
These cooks are amazing.
Yeah.
They do incredible things with hardly any resource.
Yes.
They're feeding our beautiful kids. It's honestly, if you told chefs you've got to feed 350 people, 1,000 people in 45 minutes, they would cry.
Yeah.
They are doing... they are really, really doing it. I think the reason I've carried on doing school dinners in 20 years is because, no disrespect to any government, and I'm completely apolitical, we always consider school dinners like a luxury, not a necessity. And the science, the nutrition, just backs up if we feed our kids right, we can educate them better.
Yes.
That we know we've proved that their mental educational attainment is better, the results are better. We know that if we give certain nutrients into their food, their brain functions better. So this is all part of just running a great school. And if I didn't keep that up for 20 years, I know governments would have wriggled out of it because it's a couple of quid they can, you know, save on here and save on there. But yeah, to celebrate these cooks, I mean, last year's cook made a kitchen, because they had nothing, out of an old stationery cupboard.
That's just brilliant.
And he was knocking out 350 covers out of that little stationery cupboard, restaurant quality food. He won the award. And he's one of the few men, actually, that's in the industry. It's generally driven by women and mothers of the schools, actually, generally. But what he does is amazing. He's got other awards since. So, yeah, really beautiful. We had the school food educator. They shut her part of the school down because of asbestos. And off her own back, she was kind of renting, like, village halls and other things in the town, and she carried on teaching the kids, and they all got their GCSEs. So, like, these are special
heroes.
People. Yeah, and look, they're doing it for the love.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it's nice to amplify the input. When I started school dinners, often the cooks didn't feel part of the school.
Yeah.
It was like a little side note.
Yeah, I remember that.
So it's really about making it fully inclusive. And, of course, if the kids get fed right, the teachers do as well.
Yeah, it all works.
Brilliant.
It all works. We have the This Morning Award as well.
We
this year for
do.
the first time, which we're excited about.
Yes, we do. Lifetime achievement.
Lifetime achievement.
Many of you watching might have had a wonderful dinner lady that was there when you were there, and they're probably still cooking there now.
Imagine.
People that have done 20 years, 30 years. So our job together is to go and find a lifetime achievement cook that has served sometimes 3 or 4 generations of kids.
Rachel, I've said this before, Rachel Tasker's mum, at Epping Infant School, she was amazing, Mrs. Tasker, because we had to finish our food before, it's a different time. You had to finish food before you left, and there was some food, I think it was corned beef, I didn't like, and she knew it. She always used to scrape it off my plate quietly and put it down. So she knew.
You got it even then, hadn't you?
Cats
You know,
was
twinkle.
winking at them to get extra portions.
Yes, that's your
The
one.
old strategies.
Milo was, exactly. Thank you so much.
Thank
for
you.
joining us.
Oh,
I know
hello.
you're gonna
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload tons of new content every single day. So hit the subscribe button, like all the videos, and don't miss out. We'll see you in the morning.